It's only March, but 2021 has brought plenty of challenges already for transgender Americans. According to the Human Rights Campaign, this year, state legislatures have introduced more than 80 bills that would harm trans people. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, the U.S. Senate began debating the Equality Act. It would provide sweeping protections for LGBTQIA people, and it would ban discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity. It passed the House last month. As the Senate started this debate, there was only one transgender person represented in the room. 16-year-old Stella Keating is a high school sophomore. She testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee from her home in Washington. And her request was simple: treat transgender teenagers like every other teenager. Stella is a founding champion of the GENDERCOOL project, and she joins us now. Stella, welcome to the program. It's good to have you.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm really honored.
Before we dive in, may I ask, what pronouns should I use when talking to you?
She, her.
She,
and
her.
For you?
He, him, his. That's for me.
Thank you.
Let me ask about the experience testifying before the Senate. How was that? What was the main message that you wanted them to take away from what you had to say?
Of course. Well, you said it really well. I just wanted to show them that, you know, my transgender brothers and sisters and in-betweens are just like every other ordinary kid. You know, we're super normal. We have like really normal interests. And I think that, you know, a lot of times people who haven't met transgender people already create opinions about them that are false. But my goal and the goal of the GENDERCOOL project is to replace those opinions with real experiences meeting transgender and non-binary youth.
Can I ask you, what do you make of the fact that people even care about your gender identity? I mean, you're a teenager who's going through all the things teenagers deal with, and then having to deal with people who are dealing with you. That's got to be weird.
Yes. It's definitely kind of, you know, in my mind, it's like, I don't know why in some ways. This is who I am. And I just really wish that people just accepted that and were like, okay, you identify as she, her, that is fantastic. Let's just, you know, yeah, it's very weird that people care that much.
Tell me about the GENDERCOOL project and what you're doing through that project.
So the GENDERCOOL project, I am one of the 17 other champions, and we are part of a movement. We live all across the country. We are young and diverse, and just want to understand that we're all kids and just ordinary kids. And so after we launched, the corporate world actually found us because they recognized that we are the next gen workforce, and we are the future of business executives. We are future of software engineers and nurses and politicians. And they understand that we want to work in places where we belong and feel safe.
Stella, why do you think that this is an issue? Why do you think that we need to even have this conversation, the legislation? Why you even have to explain yourself to anyone at all? What do you think is underneath all of this?
Because people don't understand, and because they don't want to understand either. Like they, you know, and as I had said earlier, they create opinions about us without even meeting us. And so, and it sounds all very different and new and weird. And I think that scares people. Saying scary is not quite right, but they just don't understand, and they don't want to take the time to really meet us and to understand who we are, and that we just want to live our lives, and we just want to be treated normally.
I think one of the things that's hardest is seeing your kid go out in the world. And I know that for LGBTQIA people like you and me, that can be scary on parents. I think my mother still kind of like gets nervous when I cross the street from 30 Rock sometimes because she's a mom and moms do that. There was a father who testified in Missouri before the Missouri House. He's got a transgender daughter also. Missouri is pursuing legislation that would require teenagers to play on sports teams based on their assigned sex at birth or their sex listed on their birth certificates. And the father said that out of fear for his daughter, he forced her to wear boys' clothes, get short haircuts, play on boys' sports teams. which made her miserable. This is him talking about his experience. Watch.
The moment we allowed my daughter to be who she is, to grow her hair, to wear the clothes she wanted to wear, she was a different child. And I mean, it was immediate. It was a total transformation. I now have a confident, a smiling, a happy daughter. She plays on a girls' volleyball team. She has friendships. She's a kid.
Stella, I got to let you go in just a second, but for parents who are watching this who feel like, I am just scared for my kid, I love them, but I don't want to see them hurt and I don't know what to do, what would you say to them before we go?
You know, I would say that, my advice is just love your child. It was very clear in the man's testimony and when he was speaking that once he allowed his child to be herself and once he really loved her for who she is, not that he didn't before, but just really supported her and, gave her all the things that she needed, transgender, non-binary youth are able to thrive and they are able to live their dreams. And that was very clear in that person's testimony. And I mean, it sounds very simple, but loving your child is one of the most simplest things that a parent can do.
It's amazing how love simplifies things when you get right down to it. Stella Keating, you know you're fabulous, right? You know you're awesome.
Thank you. Yes, I do.
Just want to make sure we're clear on that. And I appreciate you making time for us tonight. Thank you very much, Stella. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.